Hello there, Cancer. My name's Frankie, and I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient medium, and an empath. This reading is going to be for Cancer for January of 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. For everybody who's new out there, I pull 4 cards for the month. We use the bottom card on the deck for overall view of the month. We'll pull Angel card at the end of the reading, hopefully to bring everything together for us. Now, I am an empath, so I a weird speech pattern. I speak as if I'm you. Makes all of you Cancers named Frankie for the time of the reading, I suppose. Look at your moon sign and your rising sign. You'll get a more comprehensive view of the month. And I don't think these cards will go week by week. I think they're going to blend in and out throughout the month as an overall theme. We have good words this month. Vision, support, freedom, beauty, and discernment. Wow, did we get the cards to go with those words? Honest to God, we have 2 major arcana here right off the bat. First one here is the Chariot, so whatever's going on is happening to us pretty darn fast as far as what I can see. I got my computer here shaking all over the place because I have it up on 2 books. A little box and a book on top of it, and that's not helping very much. But anyhow, we got the Chariot, and that is victory. Victory is assured, and things are moving very rapidly, really fast. The transition is going real quick for us, so whatever's changing is changing in a fast manner. So I'm thinking this has to do with our freedom and our vision of what we actually want our future to look like, which is pretty exciting because we're holding things together, and we're holding them together really well, and keeping them on track is basically what it means. So the situation where we're completely and totally involved, and we're happily involved in it. So it's exciting to us. It's what we want to do, feeling all together with the world and everything going our way, able to accomplish any task at hand we can do, though it's moving way faster than we Cancers are used to. And there is a big old task coming up here, so I don't know which one of us is wanting to carry it and which one of us aren't going to, but whatever, that's the way it's going to be, I think, because we're pretty much attuned to the rhythm and keeping up with all the changes and the challenges that'll be happening this month. That's pretty exciting, whether they're in our relationships, they could be at our job, with our career, some kind of community type thing or involvement, but we're sensitive to any minor changes or adjustments that we have to make that will keep things moving right, or moving on the, basically like on the right path for us, which is exciting news because it's going to be pretty much a brand new path from what I'm seeing here, a really brand new path, because our next card here is the Fool, and that's another really good card. So it's when we're out of sync with the rest of the world, basically, but in this kind of positive way, like being ready to go out on our own, to do the things that we want to do, full speed ahead, that movement that's really rapid, just like the Chariot. This guy has his little dog, his little sandwich on in his backpack on his back, and the white rose of innocence, and he's going to just jump off the bridge. Now, because of the word I'm seeing here, discernment, I'm going to tell us to take off the rose-colored glasses and weigh the risks with the advantages. If we didn't have that word, I would say jump on it and go for it. So some of us, it's going to be the absolute right thing for us to do. And others of us, we're going to have to weigh those risks. Maybe we want to stay in a safe place where we're at. I think that for the majority of us, we're going to want to just do it. Just basically looking at what I'm seeing here, we're going to just kind of want to do it. So what we are experiencing at this time in our lives are way different from what everyone else in our lives are experiencing. We're seeing things in a different way, marching to the beat of a different drummer, and we need to honor that different drummer, because that's the beat of us being authentic, trying to get basically our attention. But I still want to say again, as long as we have that, as long as we have the word discernment in here, I really want to think about weighing those risks. Now, the Fool's not upside down, but that doesn't mean that does not mean I don't want to weigh the risks, is what Spirit's saying to me. So sit down with myself and think of the advantages of what is happening. If I'm going to take this kind of like choice or challenge or the movement forward, think about what is the advantage, and then also think about like what are the downfalls? What could possibly happen when I take this, like this new choice or this new path? If it's supportive of my vision and it's going to be a beautiful thing and give me the freedom that I'm choosing for myself, then I think I'm going to jump on that chariot for the ride. If I see that there's something in here that's like a downfall for me, I might want to back up, reevaluate, and take a little more time to think. That's the way they're saying it to me, to make sure it's very supportive of me. But it looks like, even based on what's going on here, some of us, this might be a work challenge. Others of us, it might have to do with relationships because of these few next cards coming up here. Because next we have the King of Pentacles, and that's actually an excellent card for us, because the King of Pentacles is a mature person. So Pentacles is earth energy. So it's going to be Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo type energy. Very disciplined, earth-oriented, material-minded, if it's a person outside of us. So male or female, because these are general readings. You can't say this is absolutely a man. So someone who is very mature with their energy, very mature judgment, things like that, but also is extremely courageous, would do anything. Their nature is that of being like stable, a real solid citizen, stands on their feet, they're reputable, they're kind, they're good-natured, experienced in handling money, because this is earth plane energy. Very experienced in handling money. So they're usually pretty wealthy, but the stability of their money is what is the major factor around them. It makes them one of the people that can like provide us with really reliable counsel on matters of money, on matters, anything to have to do with finances, things like that. Someone cultured, refined. They call him like the dispenser of patronage. So it's someone that would help us, If it's an actual person, they're likely to be like on our side, actually on our side towards us, like the corporate head, if it was someone that was going to hire us, or our boss, maybe a banker that we're trying to get a loan from. They would actually like work with us in order to get the loan to go through. But if it is not going to be a person in our life, someone outside of us, some of us will be being called up to stand in this kind of energy, watching our money, making good use of our monies, things along that nature are going to be really like important. So, and if it isn't, then this means that we are engaged in some type of a worldly type enterprise that's going to meet with great success. So that in itself is excellent energy and excellent news for us if we even think about it for a minute. So for some of us, I actually think this is going to be like a work or career related, or even if it was an investment for those of us that are not working. It would be like this King of Pentacles knows their stuff, and they could help us make really wise choices or really good investments that are going to be beneficial to us in our future. So that is actually excellent type of energy. Now, up comes our blip. Don't we always get like this one blip in there? But I got to tell you, I did a few of these yesterday and they were getting blips right and left. So not all of our years are going to start off in this real steady, stable stream. You know, we're still in the middle of this virus and economic things going on, all of that kind of energy. It's kind of chaotic and divisive. So we have a lot, I think, to think about in our lives because, you know, before we make choices or decisions or just fly by the seat of our pants, we normally don't do that. But I think this month is making us like move quicker and make the changes faster than we used to or normally would, is the way that it's being said to me. Because the next card here is the Ten of Rods. This can be a tough one, and it can be a really good one because it means that we're taking up some type of new responsibility, basically, that's appropriate to some kind of new cycle coming in our life. And we see that new cycle with the Chariot and with the Fool energy. So even though it seems burdensome, because these are the 10 heavy rods of burden, that's what the wands represent. A lot of times they represent business, finance, but it can be in relationships too, as you'll see as I explain this, you know. But it also means if we are taking up these burdens, we have the strength and the character to carry them, and we would feel like we could do anything, period, even an especially difficult type of task. And this is a 10 energy. It reduces down to a 1, which is the beginning of a new cycle in our lives. You know, maybe some of us will be taking on these responsibilities basically because, you know, I want to do this because it's important to me. But there'll be others of us that'll be the kind of like not the opposite, but basically the opposite. Like everything we've been doing has been going for nothing, and we're carrying burdens that really don't belong to us, that aren't supportive of us, that are holding us back from our freedom, like our words right there. So we would feel like really weary, like the whole world is on our shoulders. And a lot of, because we are so home family oriented, a lot of we Cancers, we take on a lot. And that's all there is to it, you know. And we usually do it willingly in order to keep a stable or a happy environment for the people around us, those that we love, you know. So it's up to us in our hearts to decide whether these burdens are legitimately our burden to carry. Because sometimes one member of a family or one member of a corporation gets all the work dumped on them just simply because they can do it, and they will, you know. So make sure others, this card tells us, make sure others are doing their fair share. And if we need help or support, like our word down there, if we need help, we should be asking for that help. If it's going to use us freedom, give us freedom. To me, I think about, like, this could be all the kids home. A lot of times it might be, well, all my kids are home and I'm doing all the cooking, cleaning, and nobody's moving. And I'm saying, Johnny, take out the garbage at least for me today. Johnny, take out the garbage. Johnny, take out the garbage. 20 years later, Johnny's still sitting on the couch with a whatever, Nintendo or Game Boy or whatever those are called, and I take out the garbage myself. You know, it's that kind of energy. Look, we're all in this together, and you each need to do your share. So asking for the help and kind of sternly or assertively asking for the help, and like laying it out and laying the rules like out on the line is what they're telling me is going to be really important to a lot of us. Laying those rules down and being very stern about them, not mean, stern and assertive about how this ship's going to run is what they just said, how the ship's going to run in my home. Others of us, this may be at work. You got the coworker that takes off early every Friday and throws all their work on my desk. Well, here, Susie, the boss needs this done before the night's over, and I got to go get my nails done. And I'm doing it, and I'm doing it. Finally, one day I go to the boss and I say, every single Friday, Susie takes off early. She's getting paid for it, and I'm doing her work. It's that kind of energy. Or I sit back and I pick up the sheaf of papers, and like I used to say, okay, Susie, I'll do the work for you. I hand it directly back to her and say, I'm sorry, this Friday you're going to be late for your appointment. I don't have the time. I have more than enough work of my own to do. So I like hand things back to the place where they belong, and I divide up the energy of those 10 rods of burden and distribute them evenly or equally amongst the others that should be helping me, because I'm the one in control of this chariot energy, basically, that's like overriding everything. Because next we got the King of Swords. So we have two very mature energies. And that's the reason I'm talking about that 10 of rods like I am. Because this is King will use force, but only uses force if it's absolutely necessary. Unlike the Knight of Swords or the Page of Swords, which is just a more arrogant, cocky type energy. This is very mature. It's a energy of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, because it's air energy, and it will be male or female. That's why I'm saying it may be a division, you know, in a different way. Some of us, it could be a new relationship. Others of us, this thing could be we're tired of carrying all the burdens for maybe our partner or something along those lines. Because this is a person with power and authority, period. You know, someone, it has to do with our mental process. When we pull this King of Swords energy, something that's going on in the mental realm, someone like that does mental work, basically like a researcher, maybe a lawyer, a military officer, those kind of energies where they know what they're doing and they can think quick, and they're good counselors. They have, like, what is that word? How's that said? They have this acute mental dexterity, and they speak eloquently and rapidly and think on their feet. So it's an important energy for us to keep into mind, gift of just doing that. Thinking very rapidly, not taking forever to make a choice, weighing what we should, what's the risk and the benefit. really rapidly and thinking, well, there's more benefit than there is risk, or there's more risk than there is benefit. And the King of Swords like picks the battle, though. Remember, they use force, but only if necessary. So it's a ability to pick and choose the battle that I'm going to fight. Some of them really, I don't know why they're saying that this time, but it must be important to some of us there. Pick and choose the battle, because if it's in our life, some of us might be being called to step in with these kind of qualities, which are difficult for us to do because we want everything to run smooth and nice and everybody to get along. But sometimes I have to lay down the line. That's what the King of Swords is basically telling us. Sometimes the King of Swords can mean we're having some kind of really major, like spiritual type of breakthrough in our lives that's going to be really helpful to us and in our future, helpful to our future. I'm thinking a lot of us have some kind of vision or a decision-making process about what it is we want our lives to look like, and what it is that we need to help us, what it is that we have to let go of in order to achieve the goal that we want. So it's the beginning of a new year. So at the same token, it's the beginning of a fresh start. So the way they're putting it to me, it's like leave what is holding me back in the past where it belongs, and take this energy and move it into what I want in my present and my future. And it's strong like that, Let's see what our angel card is. It says opportunity to forgive. That's our angel card. There's an opportunity to forgive. Leave what's in the past in the past. It says, this situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release a negative pattern. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies, and lift you to a higher place of peace and of compassion. And we all need compassion. The problem, I think, with we Cancer sometimes is we give that compassion to everybody but ourselves. And I think we should think about that. It's a beautiful thing to have energy of compassion for your own self. Sometimes it's very important. It said the angel sent you this card because they see that you've grown weary of a reoccurring negative pattern in your life. To break this cycle, it's important you release old toxic thoughts about the current situation and relationship. You can do this by breathing deeply and on each exhalation, giving your fears, worries, anger, and any other painful emotions to the angels. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you are condoning the other person's behavior. It just means that you're unwilling to carry the toxic feelings and thoughts from him or her. Release, be free, and experience positive patterns through forgiveness. Avoid blaming yourself or others. As you release the anger, a creative resolution to the situation will appear. There are hidden blessings in this relationship and situation. Focus upon the desires instead of the fears or the judgment. That's an interesting place to end, since I said let go what doesn't belong in this year. Well, Cancer, that's our reading for this month. I want to tell you all, thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and for your comments. I read each and every one of them, and I really appreciate them. If anybody wants to know more about me, just go neb about me. Or if you need to set an appointment with me, all the information, sorry, I have terrible sinus. All the information's down below the screen in the About section over at the website. Also over there are 2 short videos. One explains a prayer class, The other is the sutras, and that I put out there for you. Prayer class is 2.5 hours long. It explains how to format prayers, why you do them the way you do. Sutras are simple thought forms. Put in a meditation, takes 5 minutes a day, enhances the clear perceptions dramatically. But the videos are over at the website. So to all of you I've met through 4 whole years of doing YouTubes now, and everybody I've met through 32 years of doing this work, I want to tell you all, it's been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to serve you. Hopefully I will see you back here next month. Bye-bye.